Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a 2000 Mercedes SLK 230. This one has a check engine light that's on, and the error codes, we'll take a look at that in a minute. But essentially, it's going to involve a mass airflow sensor meter replacement. I am going to be using my Actron OBD2 scanner that I picked up from AutoZone to see why the check engine light is on. It should give me some P codes that I can then use in diagnosing the issue. So, finding the OBD port right there, I'll plug the OBD scanner into it. The scanner is in place. I will then put the key in the ignition, turn it to the number 2 position, and then I will attempt to find out what the error codes are. So let's see. I'm going to read the error codes. Okay, and it's saying that there's one error code on here, and the error code is basically, hold on, there's one of one, fuel trim malfunction bank 1, P0170. So when you have a fuel trim malfunction error, if you look that up, P0170, if you look that up online, you'll see that it's a mass airflow sensor, especially for the Mercedes. Go ahead and pop the hood. Turn the ignition off. Alright, so the biggest thing on any repair is knowing where the part is that you need to replace, how to get to it without causing injury or damage to yourself and the other parts in the vehicle, and how to take it out without breaking it, and put the new part in without breaking the new part as well. So for the mass airflow sensor on a SLK from 1999 all the way up to 2000 and I believe it's 3, you just look for the hose. This is the air intake hose right here, and right at the base of that you will see the mass airflow sensor here, and it's from here to here, and basically you will remove it by taking off this butterfly hook here. There's another one on this side there, as well as this clamp here. And once you've removed it, you would reverse your steps by putting on the new one. You'll also have to take off the harness. And it's probably best to just start with the harness. Remove that by squeezing both clips on each side, putting that safely out of the way. What a lot of guys like to do, instead of removing the whole mass airflow, they're usually just using a star wrench. They'll take both nuts off. These 2 nuts, you can then extract the sensor. But today, we're going to just go ahead and remove the whole thing. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I have already loosened up the first screw there, so that's pretty loose, and some guys will like to remove this top screw here. That's unnecessary, but it is an option. Now I've gone ahead and I've pulled the hose off of the airflow sensor already after loosening up that screw. The only thing left now to do would be to reach in, loosen up that clip, loosen up the clip behind it, and pull the sensor straight out. And you can wiggle it up and down to get that out. While doing that, while removing it out of the way, I want you to notice that there's a rubber hose that did not come out with it. You want to keep this hose, and if the new unit should have a brand new gasket as well, but if you're buying one aftermarket or if you're buying a used one, it may not have that, so you want to hold on to that. Now, it's kind of hard to see it on here, but there is an arrow that shows flow direction. You want to make sure that when you're inserting the new one that you follow and insert it correctly so that it flows towards the engine. Make sure that it's pointed towards the engine and not the opposite way, like so, because the air is flowing in past this filter, or past this airflow sensor actually, and into the engine. And that's what the inside looks like. Some guys claim that they can clean this. I have never been that lucky. It always requires replacement. Okay, so before putting the new sensor in place, you want to take the O-ring washer and put it inside of where the sensor will be seated, and that's to prevent any leakage. And there's some rings, there's a lip inside that you want to make sure that it's basically seated correctly. Once that's done, ensuring that your flow direction is correct, you will then insert the mass airflow sensor into position, and it should have a nice snug fit because of that gasket. Now after that's done, you will want to connect back the clamps on both sides. One, and then there's one on the opposite side, parallel to that one that I'm not able to show you on the camera. But you'll get both of them. Make sure that you do get both of them to prevent any air leaks, because that will trigger the check engine light as well. Then you connect the hose back. I'm doing this one-handed, guys, so holding the camera with the other hand. Alright, once everything is tightened back, all your clamps, the hoses, the only thing remaining to do is to insert the harness, and it can only fit one way, and it goes in with a snap, so that's it. And then after that, just inspect your work to make sure that, by taking off the air intake hose, nothing else got disconnected. Make sure that your clamp is on, and then that's it, you're good to go. There's one last piece of work that you need to do. You should then go ahead and start the car up. But before you start the car up, you should go ahead and erase the check engine light. Turn off the light. Erase the codes that caused the light to come on in the first place. So I will go ahead and erase those codes. Attempting to communicate. One code found. Erase it. And once it's been erased, the new part has been installed. The check engine light will not come on. Previously, prior to installing the new mass airflow sensor, I would turn the light off, start the ignition, and within 5 seconds of the engine running, you would see the check engine light come right on. So it's been running now for, about half a minute, and even if I turn it off and turn it back on, check engine light goes right off. No longer an issue. Enjoy, folks.